aficionados. I'm going to tell you stuff that you already know, but some of you might not. Marshall back in the day, late 80s, early 90s, something like that, made this. A big hunk-a-chunk metal thing that's pretty heavy with 3 knobs. Gain, tone, volume. They called it the Blues Breaker. Because way back in the day, in the 60s or whatever, Marshall had a Blues Breaker amp. I guess. Input, output. It's a very simple pedal. Very big. Got neoprene on the bottom. Can even run it on a battery. And this is a classic. If you're trying to buy an original Blues Breaker pedal, it'll run you over $1,000. Now, this is the reissue that'll run you 160 or something. Pretty good. Likely very similar or the same. There are a million variations, homages / clones of the Blues Breaker. Everyone has their variation of the Blues Breaker, whether it's called the Timmy or the, I don't know, all the, everyone, you know, the Jams have that and the JHSs have that. Everyone's got, in the Keeleys, everyone's got their Blues Breaker. Wampler has the Pantheon. Analog Man went and put 2 Blues Breakers with some mods in a pedal where you can turn both of them on or one of them on at a time. And you can order it with a high gain mod, and either it's overdrive, boost, or distortion. And these things are kind of like fixed in the pedal. And you have one side that you tailor the way you want it, and the other side the way you want it. Only issue is you order it on their website that looks like it was made in '92, which isn't bad. But then you have to wait about 6 or 7 years until it's your turn in the queue when they write to you and saying, do you still want your King of Tone? Which is 2 modified Blues Breakers in one box. And those on the used market, because who wants to wait for 6, 7 years, will run you, you know, hundreds, $800, whatever. Recently, Analog Man teamed up with Chase Bliss and made a presettable, MIDI controllable dual Blues Breaker, therefore a King of Tone, by Chase Bliss / Analog Man, called the Brothers AM. Pretty cool, and everything can be saved in a very small form. It's a good pedal for $400 if you can get one, because they're usually sold out. Now Warm Audio enters the scene and says, look, we copy / homage stuff. We haven't done a Blues Breaker-y kind of a thing. Let's do a King of Tone kind of a thing, but actually make it look like an old Blues Breaker, but give it all the options of what it can be right on the outside, so you're not stuck with what you ordered. You can also get it right now. I got it and I took it out of the box.
So do I, as I hum and sing. Plug it in, unleash the spring. Land of belly likes it warm. Driven tones, a sonic storm. Oh, turn it up, let it swarm. Land of belly likes it warm.
So let's hear some sounds so you can wet your whistle with the Blues Breaker-y goodness. We pump this into an amp and see how inspiring it is to play over a beautiful elevated jam track by my friend Tom James. let's run through the pedal, which is right there next to me. You can see it is pretty much a blues breaker. I'm going to put the blues breaker right next to it. We've got a camera from the back. So you can see the blues breaker is slightly higher. But I mean, size-wise, this is a little bit bigger. But you can clearly see the resemblance and the homaginess of this, even though that looks like drag cars with all the switches. It looks like a, drag race car. But you can clearly see what the idea there was. But this is actually two of them in one. So let's look at one side and then we actually understand the other side. You have volume, gain, and tone. That's normal for a blues breaker. That's normal for a king of tone. I like that it's called throne of tone. I mean, we all know what it's supposed to be. And I love that they didn't make it reddish brown like the guitar and make it analog manish, but went back to the roots of what this is. And it's not a clone, really, because everyone does their version of the blues breaker. This is just Warm Audio's version of it. And we have presence. Not like Christmas. This is a top-end control, probably to roll it off. I don't think you can add, because all the way to the top, it's off. We're going to find out. So if it's too bright, roll it off. You have a choice between blues and king. And king is a little bit more subdued. Top end, a little bit smoother. We'll find out as we play. Then you've got boost in the middle, overdrive at the bottom, distortion on top. Three-way switch to give you 3 levels of drivitude. And then a 2-position switch for low or high gain, which together with the boost, distortion, and overdrive gives you quite a range of gaininess. And that's flavor. That's how you set it up. You can pump this into this, which is happening right now, or flip it around. No idea why you would do that. It's just, I don't know. But you can if you have a setting where you go, oh, that's different with all the same settings. That's my second sound. I don't know. You could. You turn them on individually. This side, as I said, same thing, but you set it up differently. So technically, pedal 1, pedal 2, use them individually, independently, kind of like 2 different presets, or run them into each other, which is of course what people do with the Throne of Tone / King of Tone / Dual Blues Breaker. There's also the Wampler Pantheon Deluxe, I think, which does a similar thing. Everyone's got their version. Now Warm Audio wants to play, with the kiddies in the big pool and have theirs, which is fine. That's why we're testing it. In the back, there's an input, there's an output, all top loaded. There is a send and return, which either allows you to run both sides independently in a looper switcher, or actually put an effect right in the middle if you wanted that. But I think it's more meant to have both sides as individual pedals if you wanted to put them on different parts of your signal chain. There's the 9-volt input, and there's a voltage boost, which right now is off. That's how we want it. And then we try turning it on, which probably just boosts the internal voltage, which would give you a little bit more headroom, something like this. Usually these effects are not audible. Okay, gonna start in low, boost, blues, everything centered, that off. Into the Tone King Imperial, we have other amps that we can test. We're gonna start with single coils. This is a beautiful Fender Ritchie Kotzen Strat, thick ass neck on this puppy. Other than that, you know what it is? It's a frickin' Strat with 3 single coils by Damasio. There's nothing special about it. It's just a good Strat. Going into 412 Premac loaded cab in the aux with a bit of reverb from the aux. Ultra subtle, right? thins out the low end a bit, gives you a mid push. I don't know if I want to do major or minor. I'll just play both. That's a bit sharp, right? So that's not a roll-off, that's an add presence. Okay, I get it. On King, it's smoother and rounder. Overdrive. Distortion. Overdrive. High. Distortion high. That's now the most drive you can get with a Strat out of one side. On the King side, you can hear it is smoother and rounder. Other side does the same thing. gonna set it up as boost, high, blues, and see what happens if we kick that in. Let's kick it into the high something mode in the back. Oh, voltage boost, yeah. Let's go, Humbuckers. The humbucker is that kick for the top end there with the presence is kind of neat. We have that ploppy attack from the King of Tone or from the Blues Breaker. It's all there. Come on, guys, isn't that a beautiful lead right there? Hey, look, I'm having fun. Different amps, folks. Deliverance by Fryette, that big behemoth on the top left. The Plex by Friedman is already plexing like crazy. Might potentially be just a little bit much too much gain, a little bit too much gain. JCM 800. Very nice boostable options. Gotta wrap your head around what the presence does, the difference between the blues and the king, and a little bit of a learning curve of about 5 minutes. And then tailor it to your amp. Pick your left side, pick your right side, never pick anything again, leave it. Bombshell Overdrive is a Dumble clone, which is an absolutely beautiful amp. Very thick. Too much volume was pushing the amp too hard. That's nice, come on, that's nice, I like that. Good test for the guitars, didn't you? That's some fun stuff. Okay, here we go. This is it. This is the Throne of Tone. I played way too much shit. Definitely blues breaker-esque. Definitely very tweakable. Combinable, stackable. You have to learn the different levels and what does what. We can clearly hear that some of the presence is too much and too bitey, and sometimes you want to be in the blues side, which gets you more of that aggressiveness, but then the high gets you more of that. The king, no, where was I? Here, blues or king. I was here, blues or king. Let's say, okay, reading is a good thing. You want to learn it. Want to find out how it works with your amp, your pickups, and what you want to do. But then you have a King of Tone variant with very switchable options right there on the pedal for $289. Now, are there others that do similar things? Absolutely. From relatively inexpensive China clones through Wampler and everyone else. I've rarely seen one that is this tweakable with all the switches. And the presence really adds something if you want bite and top end, even though you're in the King mode. It's a beast of a tank pedal. Very sturdily built. It is heavy, just like the original. It feels like the Bluesbreaker. I think it's a fair price for a dual stackable pedal based on its roots. That's what I gotta say. I'll put links below to all the applicable stores. Please visit them if you want to see pricing and availability, whatever. That helps me support the channel, so please do. Also like and subscribe. Thank you, Warm Audio, for commissioning this video, and Animals at the end.